goodness, I actually felt like singing. But Christmas in the air, the New Year anticipation and all that. But I'm kind of sandwiched in the middle because I don't want to get too excited, right? So everybody's writing New Year resolution. See, don't get carried away by the what do they call them? IJGBs. The I just got back. Don't get carried away with those ones. By the time they change just five of whatever currency they are bringing, you know how it is. But then again, there is a lot of anticipation. People just getting excited. Excited, not the happy excited, but excited, the anxious excited, with regards what the new year is bringing and all of that. And that is why we are coming on to educate us. But whatever it is, whatever season we find ourselves, we do not want to lose track of the moment. So we implore that we just calm down, be calming down small small. Hmm? It is when the eye calm down you to see the nose. So calm down, just relax. All right, everything will fall into place. I'm excited to be happy, excited now. I'm excited to be back. This is our very third installment of the Enterprise Law Forum. Can you give a round of applause? Oh, we've done three. Okay, so we're on the third, right? Okay, so let me just say it ahead of time. Foretelling. There is foretelling and there is post-telling. So we are done because by at the end of this video it will be we are done. This is the third installment of Enterprise Law Forum, and we're so excited that you've been following through. We see your comments. God bless you. Thank you so much for following through and for also spreading the word about Enterprise Law Forum to your friends, to your families, to the people around you, even people who are not concerned. Once they see your status, they see it. We are very, very thankful for the support that we've been enjoying so far. I said if we don't reach 2,500 views, people think I'm joking. They're not giving Christmas chicken. I want to eat chicken. Please, let's reach 2,500. We can do it. It is possible. Involve me, involve me. We're involving you now. When we have our finish, now say we don't know it. Let's be knowing you now so that you understand. You would have been stuck here at the time we get to that top. And of course, we are all getting to the peak together as God marvelously, marvelously helps us. Enterprise Law Forum, first timers are welcome. Enterprise Law Forum is the podcast where business meets law and complex legal developments are broken down into practical insights for smarter business decisions. So here is where we help you to make smarter business decisions. And Enterprise Law Forum, I don't want to be hungry this 2026. I set part of my New Year resolution. See my handwriting. I've been writing. I will not be hungry this 2026. Sincere appreciation to Lithos Legal Concept, who have been empowering us on Lawyers Hangouts and also on Enterprise Law Forum. We are very grateful for the support that we enjoy in sourcing our guests, in sourcing the topics, in sourcing all the kulele. Lawyers don't like talking about money, but it's my work. I talk about it. Thank you so much. We are so honored for what you do. Lithos Legal Concept. More and more power to your elbow. Thank you so sincerely. And my name is, did I introduce myself? In case I didn't do it, let me do it now. My name is Damilola Raphael. Somebody said I should add me Remimi Doredo. So it's me, Remimi Doredo, welcoming you on board Enterprise Law Forum, powered by Lithos Legal Concept. Now, let's go ahead and do the Holy Ghost gossip. Please tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody that we are live. Forget it, this is not recorded though. It is live. You are watching us gone direct. If you come to our office now, you just be seeing us in the studio. Okay, they will not allow you to pass this place now. You're gonna pass it back. But we are live right now. And we are doing this together. So let your comments start coming through. All right. Let your comments come in and let's do this together. Today on the show on Enterprise Law Forum, we are going to be examining the impact of the Nigerian Tax Act 2025, which takes effect from 1st of January 2026. And of course, the implications for businesses and for individuals, because if you affect businesses, I get you personally. Okay, so for businesses and for individuals as we move forward into the year 2026, please do well to share the link. See, people have been getting information and misinformation. But with Lithos legal consults, you cannot, you can't get it wrong. You know, different years has different things. Okay, there was a time they were saying no grief for anybody, and then 30 December came, and that seems to be trending again. Those who the IJGBs I mentioned earlier on, they are used to paying tax, so it's not AJG to them. You now, Elena, come sit down very well, because see, this business that you want to grow, you also need to learn how to navigate, and that's why Enterprise Law Forum is here for you. So go ahead, just pause right now, take the link, go to your status, share it on your own page, go to your WhatsApp status, post it there, post it in every group. If they remove you by 2026, they'll come and beg you. I'm not telling you, I'm telling you right now, just put it, and then let's go ahead and make smarter business decisions together. Okay, now as I said, there's been a lot of information and misinformation flying all around. There is a particular banker that said one of his customers sent him a message that, well done, no, how are you? They said that they are going to be a tax law. What? If small just come out my money, not just near state gate.
Interesting.
Is it the banker that is removing the tax? Today, we will settle that matter. Don't have it letting somebody authority. I will call everybody. Let's shuffle Tomo. I'm just giving you my own 50 cover at this point. And of course, there was also on X in FL posted something about, I think the reps or the NAS, the National Assembly generally, let's just use that word, are saying that what was passed was not what was taken to the house, and that it is an impeachable offense and all of that. So many people, I just do not want you now. I don't want you to become sensational about this. Have the right information. Make you for no loss. My own tag, my hashtag for this 2026 is Egaga. Be careful. All right, I'm not going to be alone on the show. I have the ones up. Okay, so let me be official. Let me speak English because I'm working in lawyers. First, let me introduce Prince Dr. Adegbite Ademikora. Okay, FCA, FCIT. He is a respected tax practitioner and chartered accountant with extensive experience in tax policy, compliance, and advisory. So you see that we are giving you the correct something, not just Amuru Mala. We are doing the correct something. And he is the immediate past chairman of Osun State Internal Revenue Service. In Yoruba, you call people like him Matthew Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun nígbà kan rẹ̀. Thank you very sincerely for joining us, Prince Doctor. Welcome on board Enterprise Law Forum.
Thank you, Damilola, and for all those accolades. But the one you added now, you said Matthew. That's one I know deal. So, Merry Christmas in advance.
Thank you very much.
And
for
I want to send a warm, what do you call that? Warm greetings to our viewers at home. Thank you for joining us today, and I believe you will learn so much from this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very sincerely. And sitting pretty to my right, we have Barrister Funmi Makanjuola. She is a legal practitioner. She is a business advisor with deep expertise in enterprise structuring, regulatory compliance, and commercial law. She's the head of corporate practice here at Lithos Legal Consults. Thank you so much for coming again, making it the third round.
Thank you for joining us, Viva.
Okay. I said something. Let me come and say it here on set. I said it'll make me feel like I'm noise maker. But see, Prince Doctor is from the town that used to Lagogo. I will Lagogo. You must make smarter business decisions. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So thank you both for coming on Enterprise Law Forum.
Thank you.
And we are going to be digging in right now. Let's start with Prince Adegbite at a high level. What makes the Nigerian Tax Act 2025 such a significant change from what businesses are used to?
Thank you, Damilola. I want to give big kudos to the president,
Mm.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for coming up with this tax reform. A lot of people have politicized the reform,
Mm.
but let's not look at the politics side.
Mm.
Let's look at the economic side of what has happened. A lot of our laws are so obsolete, tax laws are so obsolete, and there's need for us to rejig the tax administration framework in Nigeria, and that was the underpinning factor for these tax reforms to come on board. If you we're going to talk more about this reform as
Okay.
we proceed in the course of the broadcast.
Okay. Sir.
But I need to let you know that quite about quite a lot of taxes in Nigeria are repetitive in nature, and there's need for us to harmonize these laws in terms of administration so that it will enhance compliance. It will also promote inclusive growth. While I was on the job, I realized that most times when you approach taxpayers, they complain a lot. That look, what is it that you are coming up with again? Somebody who was here yesterday, almost the same thing that you are collecting now, you collected it yesterday. We are not going to pay. Even though all those taxes are very, very important. But now, what these tax reforms has done is to streamline. Like, for instance, there are about 12, quite a dozens of these laws have been harmonized into one.
Okay.
And it will now be easier for a taxpayer without government losing any of the funds. The government can now be able to collect easily. The taxpayer himself will be able to comply because when you proliferate taxes,
Okay.
the taxpayer becomes so uncomfortable, and along the line, the taxpayer may not be able to track what he was paying. He may not be happy with the government, but now the tax reform has handled that. And then when you look at those tax reforms that came up in 4 acts, they were passed into Act June. I mean, Mr. President signed it into Act in June 2025, and he has given us well above 6 months for us to prepare ourselves for the next year. In summary, there are about 4 acts in this reform. The first one is what we call NTA because it will be easier for people to remember. When you say NTA, and that's Nigerian Tax Act. The Nigerian Tax Act is just to discuss some of the taxes that were being collected before, but now that has been harmonized into a manageable size. The second one is NTAA, the Nigerian Tax Administration Act.
Okay.
Here we are looking at the administration, how to go about the collection, how do we collect it, what are those technology that we may need to apply to the collection of taxes. That is what NTAA, Nigerian Tax Administration Act, is talking about. The third one is talking about the Joint Revenue Board Act. Before now, we used to have Joint Tax Board.
Okay.
But now, that has been repealed and replaced with Joint Revenue Board Act. What does that mean? This is talking about an organization in Nigeria that will do intergovernmental coordination of taxes payment. Take, for instance, the federal government will collect some form of taxes, states will collect their own taxes, and the local government too will collect some levies. So we are looking at an organization now that will be responsible to be able to manage and coordinate so that there won't be issues from one state to the other and with the federal government. Why I think the name was changed from Joint Tax Board is because Joint Tax Board specifically focuses on taxes alone. But when you look at Joint Revenue Board, revenue comprises of taxes and levies. So this Joint Revenue Board will now be the one that has been, I mean, it's the one that has been saddled with that responsibility. And again, they will be in charge of managing the tax identification numbers that is being generated for taxpayers in Nigeria. And the last one is the one we call Nigerian Revenue Service, the Joint Revenue Bodies and Establishment Act. So the fourth one too, Nigerian Revenue Service is an Establishment Act as well. This is just almost the same with what I've just mentioned previously. This has to do with the Federal Inland Revenue Service. The Federal Inland Revenue Service has been repealed. The act that established FRS has been repealed effective January 1, 2026, and now replaced with Nigerian Revenue Board Establishment Act. Why is this so? We found out that Federal Inland Revenue Service, even by that name, inland, it focuses on revenue or taxes within the confines of Nigeria. But with the Nigerian Revenue Board Establishment Act, we have expanded the scope of the former Federal Inland Revenue Service, in which case there is so much more responsibility now for the Nigerian Revenue Service. Not only would they be in charge of collecting revenue offshore for offshore transaction, they will also, by that establishment, they will now be in charge of revenue collection for the oil and gas, which before now was not part of the purview of the Federal Inland Revenue Service. So they will be in charge of the oil and gas as well. Although in establishing that, their operation will be taken care of by 4% of what they are able to generate within the Nigerian economic space. However, that 4% will not include revenue generated on oil and gas. That is basic issues that people should know about this act. As we progress this, I'll be able to shed more light on those 4 acts.
All right, thank you very sincerely, Prince. Now, if you are not taking notes, you are wrong. Please go ahead and take notes so that you can revisit even when you're offline and not watching. Okay, take these notes and then you can harmonize. He mentioned harmonizing and then he mentioned the government and all that. And he has taken up some of the questions I was going to ask him as touching the federal and the states, collecting tax and also and levies and of course local government. But now he has said that it's going to be harmonized and all of that. So let us come over to Barrister Fumi on this side. And she's going to talk to us now. Barrister Fumi is going to tell us from the legal and business advisory perspective, what is the key message that business owners should take from this new act?
Okay, so for the new act, and that was very insightful, sir. From the new act for business owners, and maybe not only business owners.
Okay,
so
great.
Business owners and people, if you are just a person on the street, what you want to be sure of is now you document how money is coming to you. Come to you, and then you want to actually know what taxes apply to you. So it's not you can't do guesswork anymore. There's no time for guesswork anymore. So you need to be sure what you're doing, and particularly if you're running a business, that thing that business owners do, you just go there and you're feeling hungry today, you just remove 10 naira and buy groundnuts and stuff like that. You can't do that, without some form of repercussion if you are not actually properly think, you know, exercising foresight, applying foresight to what you are doing, how that affects your revenue, how that affects what the taxman is going to be calling your revenue, what your expenses are, and all of that stuff. So you need to do that. So you need to, this particular act requires more discipline. You need more discipline. You need to document everything now. I think there's a particular provision that says you have deductibles, but you have to show the deductible. So you cannot just say, well, we produce conflicts, we bought corn, we bought this, and then we bought that. The taxman is going to ask you, where is the documentation that shows that you bought corn, you bought this, you bought that, or you fall under what they call presumptive tax, stuff like that. So you can't be informal in your business anymore. That thing that we do where you walk into an organization, and you're asking them, oh, do you have this documentation or that documentation? And they're like, no, we don't do it like that here. Here we don't do it like that. That's not going to work again, particularly when it comes to your business finance.
Hmm.
So basically you want to you want to be disciplined with how you run your business, particularly when it comes to finance, when it comes to your contracts and all that. You want to ensure that you document what needs to be documented so that when the taxman comes knocking, you are able to show them these are our books. We don't have anything to hide. And then you want to ensure that your structure, and by structure, this has nothing to do with being a limited liability company or even a registered business. You could be just anybody selling on the road who doesn't have a registered business. You understand? You want to ensure that your business is not informal. You understand?
And Barrister, for me, you remember this brings us back to the second installment of the enterprise law forum, where we were talking about record keeping, structures, systems. So we talked about loans and all that, and that kept coming up. That you can't just walk to the BOI and say you want to collect money. They will check your papers.
Exactly.
So if you don't like putting pen to paper, it's actually painstaking to keep records.
Yes, you need to be thorough.
My goodness. So you're going to be disciplined. Your record keeping has to be tidy. And of course, that brings to mind accountability as well.
Yes, definitely.
Because it's looking like you're trying to hide behind one finger. You're trying to not let someone know the detail, which means federal government knows everything happening in your business.
No, from what he has explained,
Okay.
you know now that the new tax regime, when it comes in, you won't be able to just generalize. You won't be able to put something just under miscellaneous anymore. The
It's
taxman
no
is going
longer
to
an
want
escape
to know
route.
how did it become this? Did it come to you, and how did it come to you? Do you understand? If you spent it, they want to know, okay, what did you spend it on?
Exactly.
And does that spending actually count as business spending, or it was just some frivolous spending? Do you understand? So everybody needs to actually be on their toes.
Thankfully, Barrister, for me, you said everybody.
Yes, everybody.
And then you mentioned earlier your business can no longer be informal.
Yeah.
I was listening to one of the persons on social media there, and he mentioned the informal sector.
Yeah.
Although he was actually talking about health, how that people dye palm oil to make it more colorful, and then they have a bigger volume instead of the limited one. They want to expand it, so they include dye, mixing water and all that, and then the palm oil itself. And then that it could actually be poisonous to health. And he mentions the informal sector. So people who are into the palm oil, people who are into soap making, also now need structure. That's what you're saying in essence.
Yes, they need structure. They need to ensure that whatever is coming in from their business is properly documented.
Okay.
So, take palm oil.
Okay.
So you went to buy the palm kernel seeds or fruits.
Okay.
You need to document that.
Okay.
You understand? So in processing it, I don't know, you bought water, you bought dye, for those of them mixing dye and water, and then you got you hired hands to help you to process it. You need to document that. So it's not no. So when these people come, they don't go and they go, let's see, you don't go, when we now bought the palm oil, we now called the Kamaru over there, and it was the one that, and we paid him 15,000 naira. You say, how do we know that you paid him 15,000 naira? How do we know that you have not made up Kamaru to help you process the oil, and you ate the 15,000 by yourself? So being in the informal sector now, even though there are exceptions and carve-outs, being in the informal sector now does not preclude you from paying tax.
Yes. Oh my goodness. We could actually delve more into that, take some more time to look at that, because you're hearing, for instance, you go to the market, farmers market, you want to buy yam, you want to buy vegetable, you want to buy pepper, and you are told we don't take transfer, Elobakas, and they tell you must is that's on the one side, is that not a way of trying to run now from the tax man? And then on the other hand, I think this makes it that other agencies, other ministries, departments, parastatals of government become more functional Because a person who is adding dye to palm oil
Mm-hmm.
will be held. I mean, will be taken to maybe NAFDAC, SON, something to handle that matter. So on that one side, that's positive. But on this other side of persons who always want to take cash and tell you, oh no, the farmer tells you, no, I'm not, I don't do transfer. You give me cash. How do you now navigate?
Well, there is no law in Nigeria that says you cannot do your business all cash.
Okay.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing your business with cash. The law only says keep proper records. So if you collect your money cash and you hide it under your pillow, dig it in put it in a hole behind your house, the law doesn't have a problem with it. Just ensure that you have proper documentation, so that when proper documentation, ensure you are paying your taxes and you are paying them correctly, more or less. Yeah.
Okay, so you can still do CAS, okay,
Yes,
not by CAS, but make
No,
sure.
but if I have to,
Okay, sir.
if I have to interject
Please.
there, when you do business and you collect cash,
Okay.
I want to believe you belong to the lower end of the business model in Nigeria. And when you look at these reforms,
Okay.
you know, this reform even said those who are doing turnover of less than 50 million in a year, you are exempted from taxes. So whether you keep record or you don't keep record at that level, you have been exempted.
Makes no difference.
It makes no difference. But I can assure you, if you are the type that does volume, there is no way you will not disemphasize collection of cash. Because all this our farmer market that we see here, most of them go and check their turnover in a month, maybe 2 million, maybe 3 million. Those ones are still below. That's one thing about this reform.
Great.
The reform is pro poor people. Okay, that poor people should pay less. Those who are earning so big like you should pay more.
Say, man,
Yeah.
I'm not running from tax. You 31st now, you will run inside that whatever worship center and be praying, Father.
People who are collecting big like that mean should pay more. And that's one thing that you need to emphasize. Like he said, Fumi said, the law didn't say don't trade in cash.
Okay.
And the law envisaged that there are some people who are playing very small. And so those people still continue to trade in cash. But mind you, if you keep normal cash book and your transaction is getting to 4 million, it's better for you to have proper structure. Register your company under the Corporate Affairs Commission. And there's one thing in this new reform, the e-filing and e-book making. That law stated it clearly that businesses must upgrade their ERP, that is enterprise resource planning. That is, there is a particular, let's call it a portal with the Nigerian Revenue Service now, which you must plug your own business keeping to. So as you are entering what you have bought, it's already going to Nigerian Revenue Service. So that proper, and when you want to file your returns, you do it electronically as well. Unlike before that you have to run to all these tax agencies, register, file your paper, do this, do that. No, everything will now be done online. And that is one thing the new reform has outlined. I just want to add to what she has said, that look, the laws was silent. I mean, the law is silent about that. You can trade in cash, but I want to believe those who are trading in cash are those people who are playing at the lower end of the economic space. Okay, so when at the beginning when I said relax, be calming down, it was like, you don't know, be calming down, be calming down. Shit, you know, you hit the, I heard you hit the sign of your 50 million. You won't continue at that. You cannot be watching Enterprise Law Forum and remain at that level. Maybe you want to grow. Now, and as you're going, it is best to start from now so that it does not become cumbersome. Right? Yeah. When you get to that height and it does not become strange to you. This matter
matter still involve you. Don't log out.
But please, Danny,
Okay.
if I'm not taking your time
Please,
too much,
sir.
we need to also assuage the feelings of people listening to
Okay,
us,
sir.
especially those who trade in the food market
Okay, sir.
and some services.
Yes, sir.
That the issue of VAT, for instance,
Okay.
the reform has also done a lot in that area.
Okay.
That there are some businesses that are zero rated on VAT,
Okay.
and there's one that has been tax exempt on VAT. There's a difference between the two,
Okay.
and they need to understand it very well.
Mm.
When you say zero rated,
Yes, sir.
it means you will not be charged VAT on
Okay.
what you are selling.
Mm.
But if you have paid VAT before,
Mm.
you will get it back. The government is going to refund. For instance, when he was talking about somebody who makes palm oil,
Yes,
for
sir.
instance, now, you make palm oil, you put it in a jerry can.
Yes,
But
sir.
you know, when you are buying that plastic, the gallon,
Yes,
the
sir.
jerry can, you pay. And where you
Mm.
bought it, they
Mm.
will have charged you VAT.
Yes.
Keep your record.
Okay.
Within 30 days, file it.
Mm.
That particular VAT will be returned back to you. That's what we call
Oh.
zero rated. What are those items
Mm.
under zero rated VAT?
Okay.
We're talking about medical supplies, food
Mm.
items, export of non-oil products, all those ones,
Mm.
they are zero rated. Now, which ones are tax exempt from VAT? They are like some services.
Okay.
Okay, for that one, you will not need to charge VAT.
Okay.
But the VAT that you incurred
Okay.
while doing your business
Yes, sir.
will not be refunded to you.
Okay.
So that's the difference between zero rated and tax exempt.
Okay.
So for those who majorly uh, apply their trade
Yes, sir.
in a food businesses,
Yes, sir.
medical businesses, educational,
Mm.
like schools now.
Yes, sir.
If you go ahead to buy chairs for your
Mm.
students, you buy ceiling fan for the purpose of that
Yes,
school,
sir. Yes, sir.
you will incur some VAT,
Yes.
but you will be refunded
Hmm.
because what you are doing is along that area. So
You see that this matter still concern you? You're
Mm.
gonna risk. You're gonna risk. Let's just follow this. So please just do the needful. And if you're confused, you don't know how to go about it, check us out, Lithos Legal Consult. That's on Facebook and also on Instagram. Please send us a DM and we'll be able to attend to you right there. We have our professionals working behind the scenes as I'm speaking with you and responding to your messages real time, anytime, please. At Lithos Legal Consults. That's on Facebook and also on Instagram. For our YouTube family, we have you on Lawyers Hangout. Okay, but come over to Facebook and Instagram. Send us a DM. Lithos Legal Consults. That's LITHOS LEGALCONSULT. Lithos Legal Consults. One word on Facebook and on Instagram, and we'll be delighted to help take up your issues from right there. Okay, so let us move on now and talk about who is taxable and what counts as income. We've hinted at some of these things in the previous responses from the guests, but then again, let's just dig in some more right here. One major theme of the act is that who you are and how you earn now matter more than ever. Prince and Deputy, who can now be taxed under this act? We don't want assumptions, so let's get it right.
Now, we need to classify into two broad categories:
Okay, sir.
individuals, businesses.
Yeah.
So I think you want me to pick the first one first.
Yes, sir.
Individuals.
Yes, sir.
So the first one, which is individuals, that one is under I told you the Nigerian Tax Act.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, it spoke so well about that.
Mm.
Under Personal Income Tax Act, which is under the Nigerian Tax Act.
Mm.
And for individuals, number one, you can only be taxed if you are receiving income.
Okay.
And if you are receiving income, you can be taxed,
Okay.
but only if you are earning above 800,000 naira per annum. Take, for instance, those who are on minimum wage of 70,000.
Okay.
If your minimum wage of 70, I think you'll be on 840,000 naira per annum.
Okay.
So you now say that probably that person will pay tax on 40,000.
Mm.
Even that person may not even pay at all. And I'll
Okay.
tell you the way it works.
All right.
Even you can be on 1.2 million naira or 1 million naira
Okay.
and still not pay tax. How does it work? What the law is saying is that after all necessary reliefs have been deducted,
Yeah.
and you still have 800,000 naira left.
When you say necessary reliefs, what
Yes,
do you mean?
I will now explain.
Thank you, sir.
So let's just say when all the necessary reliefs have been deducted and you still have 800,000, you still not pay tax. What are those reliefs? Number one, you rent a house.
Okay.
20%
Yeah.
of your house rent
Yes, sir.
is a relief that you can take away from your salary, deductible,
Definitely.
allowable deduction.
Okay.
Up to 500,000 naira. The cap is 500,000 naira. 20% of if 20% is 500,000,
Okay.
then 100% would be something like a 2.5 million.
Yes, sir.
So if you rent a house that is above 2.5 million
Okay.
per year,
Yes, sir.
then only 2.5 million of it will calculate 20% of it
Okay.
and will
You can
take it away
deduct.
from your salary, your gross income.
Okay.
That's a relief.
Mhm.
Number two, if you subscribe to life insurance premium
Okay, sir.
or life insurance policy,
Okay.
the premium that you pay
Yes, sir.
will be taken off from that your gross income. That's a relief.
Mm.
If you have Nigerian Housing Fund
Okay.
subscription,
Okay.
that one will be taken off from your gross income and maybe one other two reliefs as well. You understand? Now, when you take all those reliefs, imagine if you earn 1 million naira in a year and you take this one off, you take this one, and you still have 800,000 naira, you will still not pay
Yeah, definitely.
any tax.
Okay.
The reason why I'm emphasizing this is people thought, oh, if I earn more than 800,000, I will still pay some form of taxes. You may not if you have those reliefs, but not all those expenses that you incur are deductible. Okay, for instance, maybe you are telling us that you give money to some people as gifts.
Okay.
No,
Mm.
that one is not deductible.
Yeah,
You will
definitely.
not take that. But I think you understand a bit about relief now. So once all those reliefs are deducted,
Okay.
whatever you have is what we call accessible income.
Okay.
And it's on accessible income now that will now know whether you still have to pay or not. But if at the end of the day,
Yes, sir.
you deducted all those reliefs and what you have is 900,000 naira,
Okay.
800,000 out of it will be on the zero tax.
Okay.
You will not be taxed on 100,000 naira.
100,000.
And in line with the scale or the schedule that has been created for tax purposes, the first 3 million will be taxed at the rate of 15%.
Okay.
And 100,000 is within that bracket of 3 million.
Yeah.
So 15% of 100,000 is 15,000 naira. So you will now be charged, you will be taxed 15,000 naira per year.
For the
And
whole year.
for the whole year. So if you divide that by 12, then you have to pay something like 1,200 naira in a month. So that's why I said that this reform is pro poor people. So those people that are on the street, our people that are earning very meager salary, please do not be afraid of this reform. The government has done it in a way. In fact, as far back as 2020, when you go to Finance Act of 2019, that was when people who were earning less than 30,000 naira, the minimum with them, were exempted from paying any form of taxes. But now that the minimum wage has been, increased to 70,000, that's why they put that the minimum, what do you call it, the exemption at 800,000 naira. So that is about the individuals. And let me also state that if you are such an individual, I made you an example then. If you earn more than 50 million in a year, just I believe that's what you earn more than 50 million, then you will be charged at the rate of 25, up to 35, up to 25% of your money may be accessible to profit. How they will do it, the first 3 million
Okay.
will be charged at 15%.
Okay.
most times
At
you
15 or 50.
15.
Okay.
The first 3 million of your money, of
Okay.
your earning. Let
Okay.
us assume that you receive 52 million in a year.
Okay, sir.
So the first 3 million will be charged at 15%.
Okay.
You know, remaining 49 million now.
Yes.
Whatever that 3% is of your 52 million, 3%, whatever they will write it down. Then the next 3 million and 1 to 12 million will be charged at the rate of 15%. Sorry, 18%.
Okay.
Okay, they will write it down. Then the next 12 million and 1 to 25 million
Okay.
will now be charged at the rate of 21%.
Okay.
Then the next 25 million and 1 naira up to 50 million will now be charged at the rate of 23%.
Okay.
Then the next any amount of money, any amount of income above 50 million will now be charged at the rate of 25%. So at the end of the day, the taxable fund that you be debited with could be up to 4.6 million
in a whole year.
in a whole year. So out of about 52 million, you may be paying close to 4.8 million thereabout as taxes in a year, which is okay for you. Because for those who are earning big, they should pay big. And that is what is obtainable in other clients, like the developed countries of the world. You see all these footballers, they may be earning close to $100,000, £800,000 in a week, and they subject them to heavy tax. Even in some countries, it is flat. Instead of, for here we have a graduated scale. In some countries, it will just be flat. You just subject your £100,000 to 25% tax rate, and that is that. That is on the issue of the individuals. But for the sake of those who have companies, businesses, and that is why we need to advise our people now to register their company with the Corporate Affairs Commission. Once you register your company, that company becomes a legal entity. It's a personality of its own. They will not mix whatever you trade in that business with your own personal money. So people should be very careful, and thank God lawyer is here. If you say, actually I went to CAC and I registered a business name. Business name is not a company.
Definitely.
It is not. Whatever you trade under your business name, it's as if you are even the person trading.
As an individual.
So all those money that you put in your account and you are using to do one thing or the other, when it comes to the issue of investigation, because very soon we are going to, maybe I should just say it again. You know, some people say that, look, come January 2026, they said whatever money we have in our account, they are going to debit us. They are going to do this. No.
Some are even saying you won't have access to it.
No, that is nothing like that was stated in the tax reform. Tax reform bill or tax reform act is a matter of law. When it's not expressly stated, government will never go into your account to debit you. But however, there are some people, I was a chief executive of an agency. I know there are some people we investigated upon. And we realized that they are trading heavily. And they are lying that they are not trading heavily. We can have an injunction to do investigation on what you do on your account. That is investigation. It's a matter of investigation. If it's a matter of investigation, they will go there and check. But ordinarily, nobody will come and check your account and say, Damilola has 20 million. If 20 million was part of your inheritance from your dad, then why would the taxman say he wants to go there? Okay? But we must be very careful when we are doing business, and we say we are doing it in business name. It is not allowed as if that business is on its own. The business and you. But go and register with CAC so that that company will stand on its own, and we know that that company is a legal personality. Now, let's now go into that and say, look, you have registered your company under CAC. Those ones, we mentioned it earlier, that even when you registered with CAC and you are doing a turnover of less than 50 million naira in a year, you'll be exempted from paying any company income tax. That's what they call corporate tax. You'll be exempted totally. And there's another There is another
I want for you to take that line again for those that would be.
that if you have a company,
yes, sir,
and your turnover in a year,
yes, sir,
is less than 50 million naira, you'll be exempted from paying company income tax. Company income tax is charged at the rate of 30%. Flat on your accessible income. What do you mean by accessible income? You may have gross income. Oh, you have purchased products and you have sold it. Maybe you dealt with textile. You go to Lagos regularly, you have been buying your textile. You buy your textile for maybe 10,000 naira for 4 years. When you want to sell, you sell at 13,000. 3,000 naira is your income. That's gross income, not your real income. When you do your accounting, your profit and loss statement, you have to debit your account with transport, telephone, all those expenses. You will charge it to your gross income. Whatever you have at the end of the day is called accessible income. With all those allowances and leave, you pack it there. Whatever you now have is accessible income. So it is the accessible income now that will be taxed at the rate of 30%. But if your turnover is less than 50 million in a year, do not bother yourself. Just do your filing that my turnover is less than 50 million, and the Nigerian Revenue Service will take it as that, and will not be. In fact, you'll be given what do you call it? They will give you a paper that will say that you have been exempted, and you file that. But if your turnover is more than 50 million, your income will be subjected to tax. But it now depends on the classification of your company as it one. There are some companies that are large, the large corporate companies in Nigeria, the multinationals. Those ones, there is a law that says that once their turnover is above 50 billion, billion. Please don't think there is no company that many of them are there in Nigeria. I don't want to mention their names. But I've dealt with many of them. They are multinationals, their turnover is huge. And if a company is doing more than 5 billion in a month, what do you think its annual turnover will be? 60 billion. So those companies, they are the large ones. What this reform is saying is that some of them at times they run away from paying taxes. They still know that they have multinationals offshore. If those agencies offshore, they are associate company, is doing above $750 million, 750 million euro turnover in a year, then they will pay what we call effective tax rate of 15%. Now, if they now pay effective rate of 15%, and we still find out that their turnover and their tax that they are paying to Nigeria is low, then their company in Nigeria will top it and pay the difference between 30% of that. So that one may be a bit complicated because I know those who are listening to us, many of them may not be in that particular bracket, so they may not really, but at least for them to have an idea. And so when they are saying that companies will pay, that is not you. Those big ones, honestly, we should not spare them. Nigeria will make money. This is a developing economy. We can only develop when those big ones are paid. But when those big ones are evading, that is when this country will not develop. And that's why we say this tax reform is all about inclusive growth. Give us part of the money that you have taken from our citizens. Let us use the money to develop infrastructure within the country. So, but for those who are earning very little, they should not be afraid. There's another payment levy called development levy. It is 4%. Before, we used to pay it in different sectorial areas. You pay 3% to TED fund. You will pay 1% to Nasini, you will pay 0.5% to pay police trust fund. They've now harmonized all of them. They now call it development fund. It's just 4%. Now, if your turnover is less than 50 million in a year, you will not pay that development levy. But if your turnover is above that, you will pay that 4%. Once that 4% is collected by the Nigerian Revenue Service, they know how to share it among those sectorial agencies. But instead of paying this year, paying this year, those are the things I told you when we started this program. So it has been harmonized into 4% development levy. So those are the people that will pay taxes under this tax.
All right. So we talked about the individuals and the businesses. Tell me, who else will give you this kind of information? Who is your legal advisor? Who is giving you information? Don't go and be collect. You are here already, Sha. I know that you don't go and collect this information. Look at one of the details. So we are going to get into that bracket together, and that's why Lithos Legal Consult has come up with Enterprise Law Forum in order to give us legal insights and, of course, practical insights for us to be able to, I said for us because I know what I'm saying, for us to make smarter business decisions. Let's come over now to Barrister Fumi to tell us the implication for entrepreneurs who operate side hustles, family businesses, or informal ventures. What's the implication of this?
All right, so I'm sure we heard what he said. All right, so for those of us who do side hustles, informal ventures, and all of that stuff. So what's
For
going
the
to
PP.
yes, yes, yes. So what's going to what that really means is you can't really say, well, in this business, my accessible income is say 800,000.
Okay, sir.
What that means
Okay,
is
ma'am.
say you are employed in Lithos Legal Consult,
Okay.
your secretary will pay you some amount of money that ensures that by the time you are done, your accessible income is 800,000.
Okay.
But on the side, say on the weekends, you also go to Baggy Market to sell shoes and stuff, to try to make ends meet. And then you make some extra money from there.
Yeah.
The tax man is not going to separate your 800,000 from here, from there. It's going to now become an aggregate income. Understand? So it's not, so you're not going to be able to say, well, in this business I got, in this employee I got, I'm only being paid all year on 700,000 naira. So which that means nobody's even assessing for tax.
Yes, sir.
And then on the other side, maybe when you've done all of that, you get another 500,000.
Okay.
So by the time the tax man is going to come to assess what you're supposed to pay for tax, they are going to actually put all of that together.
What if I put them in separate accounts, a yellow bank and blue bank?
Well, the thing is, with the way they've harmonized the laws,
Okay.
there's going to be some sort of way to trace what monies is flowing through you or to you, or because you are doing a transaction. So all of that is going to come to their notice one way or the other, because if they don't pick it from your records, they'll likely pick it from his records or from some other person's record, and they're going to be like, okay, so you actually did a transaction of 500,000 naira with A and B enterprises over there. How do, you didn't pay taxes. So that's going to call for some sort of investigation where they put together
Oh,
how
hold on.
much your money.
You said you didn't pay taxes.
Yeah.
That means the tax will not be automatically deducted.
Well, it's not all taxes that are automatically deducted.
Okay.
So if you're an employee, for example, so employers, while the employee is liable for paying his taxes, the
Okay.
employer is actually the one saddled with responsibility of removing pay before giving the employee their pay and then remitting it at the appropriate time to the revenue service.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, in your business, however, you are responsible for ensuring that your taxes are sorted.
Okay.
You understand? So you could, so Lithos sorts out my payee.
Okay.
But then I do one or two other side hustles when my whether I registered or not.
Okay.
And then I go to Prince, we do a transaction, but his business is properly registered and he keeps proper records. And he put there, I did transaction with Barrister for me, and I gave her 500,000 naira to supply this, and that. And then the taxman looks into his records and sees that I collected 500,000 naira to supply what not. You understand? So they are going to come and meet me and say this 500,000 naira is not accounted for as part of your income. Do you understand? Now, this 500,000 naira has nothing to do with whether your business registered or not. It just has to do with what your accessible income is. So they'll put all of that together. So they say, okay, so that means this, so that means in the year 2025, you've got 1.2 million. All right. So how much of that can be deducted? So what did you pay for? Did you pay insurance? Did you do NHIS? Did you do NHF and all of that stuff? If after removing all of that, it's you still fall below the accessible income tax bracket, then you don't have to pay tax. But if after all of that you fall somewhere around 1.1 million, you understand, then they are going to definitely, take 3%, of tax from you. So basically, you can't just say, I work at Lithos Legal Consult. I run F&E interiors, and on the side I still do, if you need house washing, I still run a house cleaning business. And then here I earn 700,000. Here I possibly did business 600K the whole year. Here I did another set of business, maybe 2 million. So the taxman is going to aggregate all of that and then assess you for tax. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So even if you say, okay, pay into blue bank, you pay into yellow bank, you pay into white bank, if they cannot trace it directly to you, they would
likely trace it from some other person. Yeah.
The question we should ask ourselves.
Okay.
What is that person trying to do?
Okay.
He's trying to evade tax. When you do business, why must you even try to evade tax? I did a analysis when we started, and I said, look, somebody who is on a salary, and a salary of maybe 1.2 million, you know the way we do it, and say, at the end of the day, the guy will just pay 1,200 naira in a month.
Every month.
But why would you like to evade that?
Exactly.
And like she said, yes, not all taxes are deductible at source. If you work in a company whereby you receive salary, your employer will serve as an agent to the government. That's the law. They are the ones that should be responsible for deduction and remittance of those taxes to the relevant tax authority. But if, by the way, you do some form of hustle, who stops you from registering that and keep your record and pay what is due to be paid to the government? Give unto Caesar what is Caesar, and give to God what is God.
Exactly.
Because let's just educate our people. Any sane economy, any sane country must have sane people. And if we believe that, look, this is our government. By the time they pull you together, it becomes big for the government. So from your pocket, is little.
Mm.
Do your own
Mm.
and leave the rest to the government.
Mm.
If you look at their tax reform,
Yes, sir.
you will see that the reform was very silent about informal markets. And I know the reason why they were the act was silent about the informal market. Majority of our people belongs to the informal market, but there's a way government will go to that market and still get their taxes.
Yeah.
The joint revenue board will handle that.
Okay.
And there is what we call minimum tax payable.
Okay.
Every state government at their level
Yes, sir.
will do their own. There are, even in the reform, it was stated there that state governments must come up with their own laws in line with the Tax Reform Act.
Okay, sir.
You know, the problem, as it were,
Yes, sir.
if there's any clause that is at variance with the Constitution, the Constitution will prevail.
Yes.
Okay? So that tax act will be silent.
Okay.
Because when you go to the Constitution of Nigeria, Section 25,
Yes, sir.
subsection F, it stated clearly that citizens must disclose their sources of income. And there's a way the Constitution crafted it, says either truthfully or I don't know. Let's go to that and check. A lawyer can help me. But that's Section 25. So that you must disclose your source of income truthfully. That you must not hide it. So if you offend, if you evade now, that particular section of the Constitution is enough to nail you.
Yeah.
Because ignorance is no excuse under the law.
All right.
So for somebody who earn salary here in Lithos,
Okay.
you will pay from the source. If you do side hustle, go and pay your tax in line with that. I remember when I was working with a financial institution in Lagos.
Okay, sir.
Because the bank is so big that most times we don't get our tax clearance quickly.
Okay.
Do you know that I still make payment to Lagos State government under informal sector? That is what we call assessment, personal assessment.
Okay.
On my own. Though, as at that time, I pay about 20,000, but still big money. So once you do your assessment,
Yes, sir.
and you pay 20,000, you will be given tax receipts.
Okay.
And if you do that for 3 years, you'll be given tax clearance. I use that clearance to do other transaction outside. I don't even wait for my own tax clearance from the bank. So, depending on what I've done, because side hustle, I do some form of training.
Okay.
And I know I get some form of income different from the salary I earn from the bank. So, that one has covered my training income. And I use that tax clearance to do other transactions. So, people should be encouraged to disclose all their sources of income truthfully in line with the Constitution. And once you do that, you are covered by the Constitution and your own.
Okay, so practicing what you preach. That's, I mean, so you can use your full chest now. You want to collect tax.
Sure.
Okay, so I would have wanted us to talk about business names, individual operators, deductions, what you can and cannot claim. But I already said it. Send us a DM on Facebook and on Instagram. It's at Lithos Legal Consult. One word: LITHOS LEGAL CONSULT, and would be delighted to respond to you. Somehow, Prince has already mentioned tax rates, talking about the graded and all of that. So I think we should just skip, so we do not bore you. Tax rates and what they really mean. And of course, there are questions here looking at the minimum effective tax rule and global alignment. Prince also said something about that in passing. Okay. Yeah, vexing. For who? Gonda? Thank you, though. Thank you. But honestly, you cannot vex for me. It's because I wanted to go ahead and do other things and not leave this, okay? So just do the needful. Send us the DM and we'll respond. See, we will spend 5 hours. Only you. Just come. We'll spend 5 hours with you. All right? Don't worry. In fact, 20 hours. Don't worry. It's for you. But of course, let's understand that we have so many other persons who are connected to these broadcasts. Of course, we've also hinted at the personal income tax and the individual impact. So we want to skip, and just go to the final practical takeaways. I deliberately mentioned the other aspects that I'm not touching on. So you're not thinking we came unprepared. See, we have liver, but anyway, reach out to Lithos Legal Consult and we'll be able to address all of these and other questions that you just may have. So let's move on now and take on the final practical takeaways for today as we close. We'll be taking on final thoughts from both speakers. And I would like to start with Prince Adegbite to tell us what businesses should start doing now to prepare for 2026. Don't use 8 million per night to pay for beach. Need 30 December 24 hours. Well, your eye will pee.
So you want us to discuss about
Basic things businesses should begin to do preparing for January 1.
fantastic.
Yes, sir.
The other time I was talking about the conscious section 20.
Yes, sir. 25.
Honestly,
Yes, sir.
that you must disclose your
Okay,
income
great.
honestly.
Honestly.
You know, I said truthfully, we
Yes,
don't know, but
sir.
in law, they will tell you that there's a big difference between honestly and
You use
truthfully. But honestly, that's what the
Okay.
conscious. Now, what should we be doing now preparing for 2026 as a business? So many things,
Okay.
so that we will not be caught napping
Mm.
when we get to the new year.
Mm.
And when you prepare
Yes, sir.
to succeed,
Mm.
you have succeeded in preparing. I don't want to say when you fail to prepare, you
Mm.
fail to prepare. So let's look at the positive side. That
Mm.
when you prepare to
Mm.
succeed, then that means you have succeeded in preparing.
Mm.
As a business entity,
Mm.
number one, we should upgrade our financial system or
Okay.
financial processes
Mm.
in our company.
Mm.
Because I've said now that the reform is going to leverage so much on technology.
Mm.
And if the reform is leveraging on technology, then you cannot afford
Mm.
to be doing all this paper thing
Mm.
that you are doing.
Mm.
So your financial department must be upgraded to ERP status. ERP, enterprise resource planning.
Okay.
ERP software is popular in the market.
Mm.
Every serious organization
Mm.
should please get ERP.
Mm.
And once you get that, you can now integrate that to the Nigerian Revenue Services,
Okay.
which is formerly Federal Inland Revenue
Revenue
Service.
Service.
Let also emphasize that Nigerian Revenue Service is the sole collector of taxes for all corporate organizations, while all the state agencies, internal revenue services, will be in charge of personal income taxes. Okay, so when you are dealing with a company, Nigerian Revenue Service is the central collector of all taxes. Nothing has changed about that. So the ERP, once you have it, the moment you inform them, the Nigerian service, they will just give you a code or a link, and you can log on. So that your bookkeeping must be electronically. Your e-invoicing, electronically. E-filing, that's electronical way of doing it. So your company must please embrace that electronic way of doing business. That is one. Number two, if you don't know, please engage financial experts, tax consultants, legal personalities. Let them educate you. You know, in Nigeria, most times we are penny wise and pounds foolish. You have a good organization, you are making maybe income of about ₦1 million. Let's just be conservative and say you are making ₦1 million. But for you to pay 50,000 naira now to a tax consultant, it becomes wahala. You say you can do it or not. It's just like a lawyer. I also have an idea about certain laws. But do you know the kind of training a lawyer has undergone? He or she has gone to university, law school, and has been, working
Yeah.
in a law firm. Yes, I also can talk about one or two, but do I know it like him? Do I know the processes? Do I know all those? But if someone like me now, I've been doing taxes all my life. You want to tell me that you know it more than I do?
Exactly.
So people should be ready to spare all those income will go to their P&L. So it's part of training. Let them train their financial department and all the rest. Number 3, let them know the incentives that they could obtain from this reform. There are some incentives that can come. We have just spoken now about turnover that is less than 50 million. So if you know that, you know it will help you a lot. We have spoken about value-added tax. I've spoken about the zero-rated and the tax exempt. How much knowledge do you know about? You must go ahead to have that and begin to imbibe all the letters of the law in that regard so that it can help you. And as a business, you've got to be focused. You cannot be running eta-sketa in the coming year. Be focused and specialized in an area that you can carve a niche for yourself. Once you can do that, then you are likely to have big turnover, big profit, as it were. Then having a turnover that is above 50 million is not killing. It's just the amount above 50 million that will be subject to tax. And if you are the type that because for the startup, companies that have startup now, if you buy, what do you call it, assets, if you buy assets, then for your capital allowance, you can ask for tax credit over the next 5 years. So you should not be afraid. Once you just have your asset, for instance, even if your asset is less than 250 million, you will still not pay taxes. You understand? So you must understand basic issues. We have highlighted some here.
Yes, sir.
Please think about what we have said, internalize them, and implement. And if you think you still have some gray areas that we have not touched, send us a mail, Lithos, and the address has been given. So if our viewers will do that, we will give them those information free of charge.
Did you hear that?
Free of charge.
No tax something.
No. It's going to be, in this case, it's going to be free of charge because you're able to listen to us and you believe we have disseminated one or two positive information to you. So that one will be done free of charge. Let them. Most times there are some businesses you do pro bono. It's not all the time you say pay me this, pay me this. But I can say, I know our managing partner will not say who am I saying that, but I want to say that I know it's mine. Let them send us email, and then we'll listen to them. I will prefer solution. So for businesses, people should just moderate in what they do. And when you do more than that threshold, don't be afraid. You are even going to pay mega.
Thank you very sincerely, because some people's hearts are already skipping beats. Send us DM, send us in henna. So now send us DM first now. Yeah. Okay. So we'll take the closing remarks from Barrister for me for this installment, and of course let's wrap it up for the year. A lot of things that we've discussed since October actually came up today again, talking structures and all that. So let's have your final legal guidance for business owners and professionals listening today.
Okay, so final legal guidance for business and professionals and individuals, because I think that one of the very important thing is that the tax act covers everybody, even though it exempts certain people based on their earnings, and it actually covers everyone. So I think that the first thing is you really want to assess yourself. Now, in climes like the US and the UK, there is what they call self-assessment. So if you are doing a business, in fact, in those climes, you don't get exempted simply because you sell bolly by the roadside. Because the truth is, people have sold akara on the roads and built houses and sent their children to Babcock University.
My, and your life will not remain the same
exactly.
again.
So so that you are selling corn by the wayside does not mean that you've not built a house. You get what I'm so that doesn't mean that you're not making enough money to actually be taxed. So in places like this, they don't exempt because you are doing that. Once you are doing a business, you are already in the tax bracket. The only thing that happens is you fill your self-assessment form, you put in your income, you put in your expenses, you do the deductions and all that, and then what's left is what determines whether you can be taxed or not. So as a lawyer, what I would say is, do not think that because you sell boli by the roadside, the tax man cannot grab you. Basically, be honest with yourself. Like you said, declare your income truthfully or honestly. Exactly, honestly. And keep records. Keep records. The thing is that when this investigation starts, by the time it starts to get, you be like, how did they know? You bought something from someone who keeps proper records. So be how like it? Be honest with yourself. Find Classify yourself properly. Am I a small business? Do I have this income? And that really has nothing to do whether you're a limited liability company or a business name. The question is, am I a small business? Do I actually meet the thresholds for being just an enterprise, being a person, or being a limited liability? So classify yourself well, do your assessment. When you then keep your records, ensure that you have your documents in place so that when they come, you can show them, these are my books. That song that says, "Oh, me marry something like that." So you do that, and then don't try to do it on your own. Don't do that thing that we do where we just think we can ask ChatGPT. I mean, ChatGPT can be helpful, but the truth is you cannot substitute ChatGPT for proper professional advice. Now, then there's this thing about tax planning. Tax planning isn't all about it's not just assessing yourself for the tax you're going to pay. It's actually being aware of how your business decisions actually affect the taxes you are going to be asked to pay. So those things are very important. That is why you need professionals. So you tell someone, "Oh, I'm making 100 million. I think I'm going to. I'm going to." The person starts to ask you questions that you are not thinking about. Now, the Tax Act is very broad. Even though it has harmonized, there's so much. When I was preparing for this, I had to go back to the Tax Act, and I found out that there's so many things there, and there's so many things that would count as deductibles. There are so many things, like you said, that like if you buy gifts and then give someone, the taxman is not going to deduct that for you. Do you understand? And then there are actually some other expenses that you would incur that may not have necessarily been tax deductible, but by the time a tax professional, either a legal tax professional or an accountant. And by the way, in this one, you don't need just a lawyer. You actually also need an accountant. Today I said I'm going to be rooting for the accountant, the tax accountants. So you're going to be the tax accountant, because for me as a lawyer, I might be able to help with some calculation, but when it gets to a point, I'm going to be like, we definitely need to bring in.
So you don't take on tasks that are not yours.
Yes, you don't take on tasks that I wouldn't take on tasks that are not
what we are
mine.
saying. He's looking like
it's all about collaboration, really. If you look at the world now, you don't just try to do everything by yourself. Even at most, a law firm would actually possibly just get an accountant, a tax accountant, to help. If they are thinking, okay, we don't want to take it out.
Doctor has given his work.
Exactly.
He's working with Lithos.
Exactly. Yeah. So you what you are looking for isn't just how can I reduce my tax. You also want to know, how do everything I do now affects my business goals. How do the tax affect how I do my plan? How does it affect our budget, our capex, our expenditures, all of those things? You want to ensure that so please don't do it by yourself. Ensure you get professionals to help you.
All right, thank you so sincerely. There's a lot for us to take home for today. Talking about you keeping records, discipline, accountability. Business name is equal to a personal.
Yes, business name. If it's Barrister Fumi Enterprises, that's more or less Fumi.
Okay.
doing the business. It's as
Awesome.
simple as
Awesome. Okay, and then there is the we've talked about the state versus the federal the duplicity of tax. We've also talked about zero rated tax exempt, the NTA, the NTAA, the JRBA, and the NRS, the different grades and all that are for your tax, for businesses now. And all that. It's a whole lot, it's a whole lot. I mean, I can't be going back to everything we've discussed in the space of how many minutes, and I'll be saying that in a few seconds, but I'm very sure you also took notes. Now, this is not part of the script. So, Prince Doctor is going to tell us he's been a tax person and all that. What did you study in school in 5 seconds? What did you do in school to become this? Because some persons are like, that money would rather eat. Come on, eat, but you pay school fees first.
Well, I studied accounting first
Okay.
degree.
Okay.
I studied accounting master's degree,
Okay.
and I did my PhD
Okay.
in taxation and fiscal policy.
Okay.
I'm also a chartered accountant,
Okay, fine.
and I'm also a chartered tax practitioner.
Okay, so you need to study tax before you can start collecting taxes.
Oh, if you, for instance, if there are some basic social sciences courses,
Okay.
even you can be a lawyer too, but you need to belong to a professional institute,
Okay.
which is the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria.
Oh,
So
great.
that's where I got my fellow of the Chartered
Hmm.
Institute of Taxation. So if you have that, it doesn't really matter what your first degree, even
Yeah.
somebody like you, if you can subscribe and do the qualifying exams
Okay.
of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, then you can become a tax practitioner, licensed, and then you become an authority in that line of business.
You heard it, so that's the extra, right? The extra. All right. Sincere appreciation to our guests today. I've had the honor of speaking with Prince Dr. Adigbite Ademi Koraisi, FCTI. He's he is a respected tax practitioner and chartered accountant with extensive experience in tax policy compliance and advisory, the immediate past chairman of Osun State Internal Revenue Service. Thank you so much for the beautiful insights that you brought on set Enterprise Law Forum today, sir.
Thank you, Damilola. Let me, as I go, or
Okay,
as
sir.
we close this program,
Okay.
let me quickly inform our viewers that the issue of tax identification number is
Yeah.
stressless.
Mm.
If you have national identity number,
Yes, so the NIN.
NIN,
Yeah.
automatically the Joint Revenue Board has created a
Oh,
portal.
great.
Automatically,
Mm.
your tax identification number will be generated
Generated.
if you are an individual. And if you are a corporate body, so far you register your company with CAC. The RC number there will be used to generate an automatic tax identification number for you. And that tax identification number will help the relevant tax authority to be able to manage, to administer your tax payment, and to be able to track whatever they wanted to do. So please don't be afraid. People said they will put embargo on an account come January. That's not true. Nigeria would like to speculate and
we like to
spread
blow
false,
things up.
fake stories. Please, it's not at all. By January 21, all accounts opened. If you have submitted your NIN to the bank, they will have generated tax identification number for you. And when you go to the portal of a joint, it's not joint tax board, but by January 1, it becomes joint revenue board. You can go there and you get your thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening to this program. I believe you continue. I learned that anyway, the anchor will say much about it. Every month we come up with
Thank you.
topical issues. But for today, thanks and God bless.
Thank you so sincerely. And Prince has given his word that he's going to watch previous episodes and he's going to be following up on subsequent episodes. Thank you very sincerely for that. And that was a very beautiful addendum talking about the TIN, yes, and all that. Thank you sincerely, Barrister Afunmi Makojola, legal practitioner, business advisor with deep expertise in enterprise structuring, regulatory compliance, and commercial law. She's the head of corporate practice here at Lithos Legal Consult. Thank you too, dear listener. Don't let me start going through reading all of your profiles, but honestly, thank you, dear viewer. Thank you, dear listener, for following through this podcast, the last one for the year 2025. We go into 2026 without fears, no fear at all, no anxiety, no panic, because we are going to put our house in order from now. I mean, right after this broadcast, every one of us, let's go ahead and do the needful. The takeaway for today is clear. The Nigerian Tax Act 2025 rewards discipline and exposes complacency. From 2026, structure, documentation, and forward planning will determine how much tax you truly pay. It's been very wonderful. Lithos Legal Consult, who has been powering us all through this season and will do so continually from glory to glory. I like that. Lithos Legal Consult is into litigation, property, business, and sports law. So whatever side of the divide you fall into, Lithos Legal Consult is called covered. Please send us a DM on our Facebook page at Lithos Legal Consult, and on Instagram it's at Lithos Legal Consult. We are on YouTube as Lawyers Hangout. My name is Jamie Lola Raphael. Now I can wish you a very Merry Christmas.